Hey, what's up, classic TV fans? My name is Rick9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about Gilligan's Island, more specifically about a really special item that appears in 2 episodes of Gilligan's Island that I think you may not have noticed. What's really great about it is that it appears in 1 episode for most of the episode. It's a fairly used item. I'll get into all the details, and then I'll tell you where it makes a quick appearance in another episode, and then you realize, wait, that's the same exact thing. It was reused, and there's a pretty cool reason for it. Smart writing. Many people don't think that Gilligan's Island has smart writing, but it really does, and there's a lot of continuity to it. I have a challenge which I want to get to 150,000 subscribers by the end of 2022. So if you could hit that subscribe button, if you are a big fan of the channel, if you watch already and haven't done so, it's totally free and it'll help me get closer to my goal. Thanks so much. Let's look at the episode The Sound of Quacking. It aired November 7th, 1964. It's a season 1, episode 7 production. Now, the castaways are very hungry and rationing food because it's pretty much run out on the island. It's the first few episodes of Gilligan's Island, and they're trying to get to the point where they can be self-sustaining. And they really have a hard time until they find a duck that basically lands on the island, and Gilligan kind of befriends the duck. It becomes his pet, and everyone wants to eat it because they're so hungry, but Gilligan refuses to give him up. So what Gilligan does, he creates this kind of a cage for it. If you look, I'll show you. It's very triangular in shape, and it has even a handle on the top so you can carry it around. Now let me tell you, this cage that they use for this duck is seen throughout the entire episode, throughout scenes with the Howls, with Ginger, Marianne, Skipper, Professor, and Gilligan carrying it around, of course. It's a pretty good episode, one where Gilligan has a dream where he is a sheriff and he's protecting his duck and everyone's trying to eat it, and it's actually filmed on the set of Gunsmoke, which was in close proximity to the Gilligan's Island set. A little fun fact there, especially ironic since Gunsmoke is the show that contributed to the cancellation of Gilligan's Island. Now going back to the episode, I want you to pay attention to the purse. Wait, did I say purse or did I say cage? This is why I said purse, because in this episode it's a cage, but in the next episode it's actually a purse, and I'll show you what I mean. The episode The Big Gold Strike. It's from season 1, it's episode 9. It's actually in my top 10 favorites of season 1. It's a very, very funny and good episode. Now we see Marianne, Ginger, and the skipper find the SS Minnow's inflatable life raft in the lagoon. And while this is happening, Gilligan and Mr. Howell discover gold in an underground mine on the island. Of course, Mr. Howell is greedy and brings Mrs. Howell along to dig out as much gold as possible so that he can keep it for himself. He tries to get cheap free labor using Gilligan for it. It's pretty funny all in all, but then everyone finds out and they try to take advantage of the gold. And at the end, everyone gets a little bit greedy and tries to sneak off some of this gold, each of them, onto this raft, and unfortunately make it sink because the raft was so full of gold that they hid in different souvenirs that they were bringing back to the mainland. So while this essentially created the only time where the entire castaways except for Gilligan botched the rescue plan, it was a very interesting one, and it's really funny throughout, especially the castaways trying to get one up on Gilligan. Now you can see as the castaways one by one get onto the raft, they're carrying these heavy objects and they're making excuses for what's in there. Now the professor says he's carrying some rare botanical specimens from the island, but that's in fact a lie. He has a bunch of heavy gold in there and so forth. Ginger, Marianne, Mr. Howell, everyone proceeds to say that they're carrying specific items for the trip when in fact they have gold stashed in there. Look at Mrs. Howell though, what she brings in. It's really interesting. She's bringing that cage. Remember I mentioned it's a cage? Well, she mentions it's a purse now. So it's a reused item from the show. One could say it's a blooper. I wouldn't say necessarily. No, it's a reused item that production said, hey, if they were really on this island and they used this cage, right? In the other episode, the duck flew away. They no longer needed it. she could have repurposed it as a purse. And it's really interesting. Did anyone notice? It's the exact same thing. It's not just an item that looks like it. It's the same cage that was used for the duck, her quote-unquote purse that she's bringing onto the raft that eventually led to the sinking of the raft. I want to know what you think. Have you ever spotted this little Easter egg, this little nugget before? This is what I do on my channel. I spot these cool things, I bring them to you, and I really enjoy bringing you all this cool information, these deep dives on these classic shows. We'll see you next time, and don't forget, everyone, be hopeful. Thank you to everyone who supports me, especially my Diamond tier patrons: Vito L, David D, Sally N, Ricky, Citizen Kane 359, Kevin K, Greg S. Thank you as well to my new Gold tier patrons, Jennifer P and Scott F. To be listed here, check out the links below for my Patreon.